Has the invention of smartphones and social media completely destroyed women's ability to love? With constant validation options and the fact that attention is the currency of the realm and girl world, do men even stand a chance against these modern miracles? We're going live. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Good morning, crew. It's hump day. I'm going to keep the pleasantries short today because I have two old blog posts to go through. Both are from Rushvi, who is one of the original 3 R's of the red pill or the manosphere. If you guys don't know who Roosh is, right? And the other two are Royce and Rollo, right? And the only one left standing is Rollo. Roosh here went off to go become an Orthodox Christian, and he abandoned the manosphere, and he took down all of his old blogs, and he took down his old books. Like if you go on Amazon and try to find Bang and Day Bang and all of his other original pickup artistry books, they're gone, or they're only available used, and people are charging like $300 and stuff for each book. So it's a shame. It's a shame. But a lot of Roosh's old posts on the Return of Kings blog are archived in the Red Pill archive. And so so one of the posts I'm going through today is from the Red Pill archive, which I'm going to post links to both of these. And then he references another article, and that one was on his old website, which was rushv.com, I think, and that's all gone. So I had to use the internet. I had to use the internet archive, the Wayback Machine, to go and find that article so we can read that today. But in fact, let me just go ahead and post them here. So this is the first one I'm going to read. And this one was written back in 2012. This one, like I said, it's got the web.archive.org address because I had to go back to an older version of it. And then this one here was written in 2018. And this one was originally on the Return of Kings, which was like another one of his websites. And yeah, so it's interesting. So the first one was written in 2012, the other one was 2018, and the first one talked about the invention of the smartphone and it ruining women, right? So that was back in 2012, and then in 2018, the other article that's related is talking about social media ruining women. We're in 2024 now, so I got to ask you guys: have things gotten better or have things gotten worse? What do you think? And for you ladies that are tuning in, is it impacting men the same way? Because it's like, well, men do it too. Men do it too. It's not just us women, it's men do it too. Right. Well, Roosh addresses it. He addresses it. All right. Before we get too far into this, guys, do please like, subscribe, and hit those notifications. I have noticed a strong correlation with the number of likes on a live stream and the number of views it gets. So remember that likes are free. Drop a like on that video. Make sure we get this out to as many people as we can. All right. And then do sound off in the live chat today, because that's what makes these live chats all the worthwhile. Interacting with you guys is fun. Please don't be stingy with the super chats. Nobody sent super chats on Monday, and I'm not mad, but I'm just disappointed because you got guys that are sending chicks like this $500 super chats, and it's like, bro, you can't even spare $2. I'm giving actionable information, and these chicks are just shaking their tatas, right? And you guys are giving these chicks $500. I'm giving you useful information that could actually get you chicks. And at least you could do is spare $2, bro. But I'll tell you what, if you do send $20 or more, I do have a video with jiggling tatas that I will show you. Now, I showed it twice on Monday, and then Mike Steele lectured me about it in the beer club chat. He goes, God bless Paul, you can't just give away the tatas like that without giving money. He goes, I saw the tatas twice for free. So, all right, fine, Mike. We won't show the tatas. You guys got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. I ain't going to give you the milk for free, okay? If you guys have tuned in, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly the jiggling tatas that you will get for a $20 super chat. All right, let's go through. So when I was first reading this, right? I read the first article, and the first one, this was 2018. It says women use social networking to feel loved, and he goes right at the beginning. He goes, when the iPhone started gaining popularity, I wrote about how it makes women makes women less capable of love. So I was like, oh, let me look at that article. That's the one that I had to go back to the Wayback Machine for. So I read through this one. I go, well, geez, why don't I read both of these? Why don't I read both of these? So it's story time with Paul and Roosh today, baby. So the one that he wrote in 2012 was women who own iPhones lose the ability to love. Obviously now women don't just have iPhones, they also have Androids. So twice the ability to not love you, clearly. So he starts off and he goes, I want you to think of your grandparents and the love they had. It's true that maybe your grandmother felt stuck with Gramps, but for better or worse, their relationship endured for some time, and there was a golden period of at least a decade where they were completely dedicated to each other. Unless one of your grandmothers was a flight attendant on the first commercial jets and saw daily affection from new men, she was absolutely not cheating on Gramps. Was that true, though? Is that true? Because with the invention of 23andMe, a lot of people are finding out that they're not related to their grandparents because grandma did step out on grandpa. That happened a lot, actually. There was never a golden age, guys. But one thing that I do agree with here, right, where he talks about your grandparents and the love they had. They did not have cell phones to, one, text each other all day long and have constant contact with each other. So at the end of the day, they actually had something to talk about. They actually had time to miss each other, right? And then at the same time, grandma didn't have a constant influx of, we're not at the 8-minute mark, a constant influx of eggplant pics and people just throwing eggplants at her all day, right? So, so there was a different time. It was a different time back then. Fast forward to today. What comes to your mind when I ask you to think about the concept of love in America? Did you laugh? Shake your head? When was the last time you ever heard a woman say, I love him? Even referring to her husband. The ability for women to love is being murdered, and the assassin is the smartphone. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys think that? I think there are a lot of guys out there think that. They think that women are just incapable of love, and which is one of the reasons why Rollo has his 9 iron rules, and the one about how a woman can't love a man in the way that he expects it. Basically, it's a part of red pill is understanding that women just love differently, right? but still, I get it. Like I get where he's going with this. Philosophers and poets have given many wonderful definitions of love, but to keep it simple, there are only two main components. One, mutual attraction, and two, lack of other options. I posted that on Twitter. I would say that's one of the reasons why men are oftentimes more loyal to their girl. It's not because of it's more because of a lack of options, not because they don't want to test out the waters with some out of town strange, it's because they just don't have the option, right? But women have way more options than they ever had, right? We do have a super chat in here. It is not a $20 super chat, so you do not get the titties, Nathan, and we are after the 8-minute mark, but I will give you this one. Let's give him this one.
Respect the cock and tame the cunt.
Yes, that's what we're doing today. We're shaming these whores, and we're taming the cunt today. That's that's what we're doing. All right. What else is everyone saying in here? We got a lot of people talking it here. We've got Nurse Chick says happy hump day chat, and beer clubs in the house. We have, let's see here. Dividend Gypsy says, what's up, Paul? Greetings from a gringo in Mexico. Hey, what's going on, man? There's a lot of gringos in Mexico, guys. A lot of guys that expatriate and they go down there and live in like Mexico City and stuff like that. And they have a good old time. I know a few people now that live in Mexico. Dr. Robert Glover lives in Mexico. Let's see here. CW says, morning, gents and Nurse Chick. Let's see here. Dividend Spice says 100% worse. I was married up until 2021, so I'd been out of the game. I don't know if it's worse, man. I think it's always been the same. It's just a little different. That's what I think. Let's see here. Treesair Made of Wood says 2010 was the decline. Steve Jobs' revenge on the world because he's a rotting POS. Let's see here. And then Treesair also liked the video. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for liking the video, guys. If you're not sending $20 super chats, at least like the video. That's okay. That's free. The dividend says, or Treesair says, we need the titties making the peeps pay. Like, damn, what next? A digital strip club pay-per jiggle? Yes, that's exactly what this is. Because that's what gets the $500 super chats is the titties. Okay, so I'm not asking for $500. I'm just saying, hey, a $20 super chat will get you some titties because I'm a cheap date. All right. And then Dividend Gypsy says Milkman has a reputation for a reason. Yes. And let's see here. Oh, God. Shake my head. A literal magic crystal bracelet that makes your wishes come true. Ad right before your stream. I report it because I'm a prick. You don't believe in the chick crack? I'm going way off topic here, but I'm having a conversation with my 3% brother Guy, and he and I are fascinated by the study of religion. Let's just say the study of religion in history. And man, I've been watching this fascinating documentary on the Gaia Network, which admittedly the Gaia Network can get a little woo-woo. But I'm watching this one called Ancient Civilizations, and they're talking about the ancient Sumerians and the ancient Sumerian tablets and their stories of their gods and how they all predate the Bible and the Torah, but a lot of the stories in the tablets are in the Bible and the Torah, but they're slightly different, right? They've changed over time, and it's just fascinating. It's like, oh wow, this is amazing. Okay, so like this god Enlil is the same as the serpent in the Bible. Okay, or actually Enki is the same as the serpent in the Bible, and Enlil is the same as God in the Bible. Okay, cool, right? And then they bring in some chick who's a spirit traveler and comes in and just ruins the whole fucking thing. And you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this was all good up until you brought the spirit traveler in. What the fuck? Anyway. Oh man, look at this. Armed Details, $10 super chat. Someone gets one free beer club, 1 month free beer club. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You gotta pay, you gotta have some skin in the game to be in a beer club, because if you go in beer club for free, you're just gonna be a fucking lurker and you're not gonna do any of the work. You know what I mean? Like, people pay for what's important to them. But I appreciate this. This does not get you the titties, but it will get you this.
Shame this horse.
Yes, it will get you a shame these horse. And we gotta say it like that, horse, right? Like horse, because I think that will get me demonetized and get my channel kicked off. You know, Rolo's Access Vegas just got demonetized. They're coming for us all, guys. Okay, let's get back to the topic at hand today. You could argue that being in love is different in that it involves some sort of passion or lust, but for many centuries, love has come to mean being attracted to someone while simultaneously not having better options. A married woman in the 1900s would be hit on maybe once a year by the butcher, and that was it. The love she had for her husband was not disturbed unless he went off to war. Today, she could gain 30 pounds and be hit on 10 times a day. There is no other tool that increases the amount of times a woman is hit on than a smartphone. That's why they say, social media is turning women into these 49ers, right? It's creating all these 49ers out there, fours that think they're nines. I blame the simps, though. Can you blame the smartphone or can you blame the simps, right? Remember this? This is why I have I'm giving a reward out for the $20 super chats, because of this shit. This shit is what we're talking about. The simps out there are just throwing they're not even throwing dick at these chicks. They're throwing money at these chicks, hoping that she'll like them, right? Guys, I'll tell you what, if you send me a $500 super chat, I will like you. Okay. Something to think about. If you're trying to get me to like you, okay? $500 super chat is what it'll take. I'm just fucking around. Okay, so for women, the smartphone is a bridge to receive offers of penis 24 hours a day. With text messaging and use of apps that connect her to Facebook, dating sites, Instagram, and the like, your average girl is receiving subtle and not so subtle sexual offers every other hour. She even gets to hear a bell tone when a new penis is putting in his attempt. The smartphone is perfectly designed. The smartphone is a perfectly designed machine for women to feel dozens and dozens of penis offerings every month, when in the previous generation, your average woman wouldn't receive that many in a lifetime. This is why dating apps, right? A lot of guys complain about dating apps is because women have this overwhelming advantage. It's like, yeah, because they just get all the matches. They get all the matches. So they end up using the dating apps differently than men do. Instead of trying to match with everyone, they're already matched with them. So they end up just weeding out all their options. And then women have this thing called hypergamy, where they want to get with the best possible option that they could get. Right. So a lot of these guys get lost in the sauce, and it's like, well, see, dating apps, they don't work. Well, it's not that they don't work. It's that you've got to understand the system, and then you've got to use that understanding to your advantage. Right. You guys got to learn. Like, winners find a way to win. Okay. That's how it works. All right. And you can complain about it, or you can figure out how to fucking win. Right. Those are your options. All right. Okay. Guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you a bunch of free stuff, including stickers. If you don't want stickers, just put "don't want stickers" in the address field, and I won't waste a stamp on you. But you get 20 dating app openers that are guaranteed to capture a woman's attention in the first 7 words. I already told you why, right? Because women are using dating apps differently. So you got to capture her attention in the first 7 words. And then I'll also give you a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. It's available on Amazon. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, you can find the Kindle edition, the paperback, the hardcover, and the Audible edition. The Audible edition was narrated by R.P. Thor. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, use your next credit on the book. If you guys have an Audible subscription, use your next credit on the book. I'm going to play a commercial for that, and then we'll get back to this article, okay? Life is a journey filled with twists and turns. Why is it that essential life lessons aren't taught in school? You probably know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but do you know how to invest in a Roth IRA? We're not taught to build ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. The roadmap to success is more than just a college degree. You don't have to follow the traditional route. Success isn't confined to a classroom. It's about discovering your own path. You ever wish that someone handed you a guidebook to life when you were 18? Well, it's never too late to rewrite your story. Everything I wish I knew when I was 18. Advice for young men to create a great life for themselves. This book is your compass, guiding you to pick the right career, how to invest wisely, and how to prepare for a fulfilling future, to take control of your health and your fitness, learn how to date efficiently and find genuine desire, and master the art of leading healthy relationships. Your path is defined by the choices you make, not by others' expectations. Don't wait until you're 35 to unlock your potential. Order your copy now on Amazon. Rewrite your story. Build the life you deserve. You know what? So in here, Adji says Rolo got demonetized. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear on that, but Mike cleared it up in the chat. His Access Vegas channel got demonetized. His Rational Mail channel still good for now. For now, he is on the government watch list, you know. So I'm hoping that I stay under the radar long enough to get through the fucking elections, and we don't have to worry about that. If I get demonetized on YouTube, though, I will probably be having Stream Elements in the chat saying, "Hey, you know, donate to the show via PayPal." You know, there's ways around it. You know, like Pearl has everyone send Cash App, so I'll probably have like the Cash App fucking banner and stuff like that. I hate doing that, but you know what? Actually, that stuff's better because YouTube takes like fucking 20% off the top anyway of these super chats. That's why you should get in the beer club. Beer club's better. And you also get some extra value out of beer club because the guys are in there swapping notes. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right. Let's talk about penises in your girl's inbox. This constant shower of penis makes it absolutely and hopelessly impossible for a girl to experience love. She can experience passion and she can be in lust for a short period of time, but within a year of any relationship, the sheer amount of cock still coming through her iPhone will make her feel like she didn't get the best man she could have, or feel that her life isn't as exciting as it could be. She'll be unable to settle with one man and be happy. The pitiful option left for men to cope with these times is to game their wife. After she took a vow to serve him till death do her part, so that he can rise above the cock offerings that won't stop coming. Well, do you guys agree that it's a pitiful option for men to have to continue gaming your girl? Do you think that's a pitiful thing? Or do you think that's something that is a smart thing to do? Now, I'm reading a book right now. It's a filthy, dirty, disgusting book. It's called My Secret Garden by Nancy Friday. It's a book that was written by a woman back in like the 70s. And what she did is she put ads out in newspapers and magazines all around the country and asked women to send in their sexual fantasies. Completely anonymous, but she wanted them to be open and honest about it. And she knew that women wouldn't be open and honest about it if they could get caught, right? But all these women responded in with just the most filthy, disgusting stories you've ever heard, right? And these are women's like sexual fantasies, like in their head and stuff. And you're like, wow, grandma was a dirty birdie. Grandma was a dirty birdie. Anyway, one of the things that struck me was one of the first stories in there is this lady talking about how when she first got with her husband, they used to have like crazy, passionate monkey sex. And she goes, now we go to bed. He basically jerks himself off until he gets hard. And then he says, open your legs, sticks it in for the last 2 seconds and finishes in her. And that's their sex life now. It's like, well, if that's what you're giving your girl because you're not putting in any kind of fucking effort at all, what do you expect these women to do? Right? And then they get an inundation of other offers. They're going to take it because you suck. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's a pitiful option to learn how to game your girl. I think that's a healthy option to keep your relationship happy. Otherwise, what do you got? You married yourself a slave and she's stuck with your ass. That's basically what the tradcons are advocating for, right? They're like, you need to get these girls married and keep them from being whores. And then, oh man, I hope I don't get demonetized. I know we're after the 8-minute mark, but Tarl from the Dragon Ship, he does a lot of work with Fresh and Fit. He's like, this is what the rules say, and I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna get screwed one of these days because I can't keep my mouth shut. But where was I going with that? Basically, long story short, these women, they're I was talking about, let's see, 304s. Whatever. You guys get the point, right? Game your girl. Okay. You know, it's funny. I'm taking this supplement called Lion's Mane. It's supposed to help me have better cognition. And I think it gives me more brain fog than anything. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just have early onset dementia. Okay. Where we got here? Nurse Chick says, Grandma was a dirty birdie. Can that be a sound drop? Oh, that's what I was talking about. Tradcons. Tradcons are saying, wife up these chicks, and that's the solution, right? Is to basically entrap these women forever in some kind of marriage. It's like, marriage is not a buffer from the sexual marketplace. It's just not. Okay. So as soon as you realize that's not a buffer from the sexual marketplace, then you can actually have a healthy relationship, you know, because you understand that you're not just like, hey, you didn't reach the fucking finish line. Okay. There's no finish line. Okay. That's where I was going with that. Let's see here. Okay. So now Roosh says, I know what my female readers are thinking. Well, guys have smartphones too. They are incapable of love like me. And he goes, and you would be incorrect, ladies. For men, the smartphone is a tool to gain a sexual option. Asking a woman on a date or trying to win her favor via text messaging or Facebook makes her a mere prospect. A potential prospect who might be sexually interested in you, who might say yes, is not the same as having guys at the ready immediately come over if you just say the words. The psychological effect of being offered guaranteed dick is not the same as being able to offer some dick. One is passive, while the other is a numbers game that takes 50 times more energy for absolutely no set reward. So basically, this is why like it's so much easier for women to cheat, right? It's because they could literally yell out their window and say, somebody come here and fuck me right now. And they'd have like 50 dudes come running to their house, right? Because you have guys like this. They're just waiting. To send $500 super chats to fucking random chicks online, right? Guys don't have that. They don't have the same kind of options as chicks, right? Even if you have even if you have the slickest game in town, you don't have the same amount of options, right? You don't. Mike Steele says Alpha Brain is good. Okay. I think if I was going to get like a name brand stuff, I would probably get Davrik shit, because Davrik's in the space. He's competing with Joe Rogan against Alpha Brain. And I like Davrik, so I don't know. But I'm buying neither of their shit. I got some other company. That's less expensive. Okay. The minute a man stops using his phone is the minute all potential prospects dry up. If I take a week off from the game, my phone doesn't make a beep. I don't even need to recharge it once, but every 3 days. But if a woman takes a break from the game or changes her relationship status to engaged on Facebook, will the cock offerings dry up? Will she stop receiving, "What are you doing this weekend?" text messages? Of course not. Even when a man receives a commitment from a woman, he must still compete with other men as if his girlfriend is eternally stuck in a sausage fest nightclub. You know what I found fascinating about this, right? Is Roosh was widely considered like like a pickup artist, like a really good pickup artist. Like his game was on point, right? He had he wrote books like called Bang and Day Bang and stuff like that, and it was all pickup artistry stuff, right? And then he says here, the minute a man stops using his phone is the minute all potential prospects dry up, which tells me, because there's a lot of guys out there that they just don't understand the ebb and flow of like the dating circuit, right? You could go out there and you could be spinning plates, and then there's times when like all your plates fall off, right? And so there's like dry spells. It happens to the best of us. So he was like, if you take a week off from the game, like his phone's not ringing because chicks are passive, right? So that's one thing I wanted to sort of put out there to you guys that get frustrated with this shit. It's like, you know, especially the guys who have built up a roster and then the whole roster goes away. Like those guys get really dejected. They really get fucking frustrated with the dating market at that point because they got to start all over again. It's like it happens to fucking like the greatest pickup artists in the world. You know, happens to everybody. Whamming or whamming. And it's just it's work. It's work for us because women are passive. Like we're the hunters, right? Like we got to go out and we have to go out and get these chicks engaged enough to get them to chase us back, right? But that still takes work. It takes effort, right? There's all these guys out there. I have the chicks come to me. Yeah, how's that working out for you, bro? Like you just walk around and the chicks just come up to you. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that, bro. Okay. Anyway, peer into a woman's smartphone and you'll find Las Vegas, nonstop blinking lights and action. Peer into a man's smartphone who isn't working on his game and you'll find something out of a country western with tumbleweeds rolling through. The only text messages he may very well receive are service notes from his cell phone provider announcing the newest data plan special. Love is dead only for women, not for men. If anything, men are much more interested in love and serious relationships than women are, but they cannot fight the culture tsunami that is drowning them. They want to love a woman who has been become incapable of it because of her unconditional adoption of a machine that is only good for one thing: playing the field. Yeah, guys, I mean, this really just sort of speaks to the idea that guys are the idealists. Like we are the ones that are the romantics. Like we really do believe in love, you know, and living happily ever after and the white picket fence and shit like that. And women are opportunistic, right? And so they have all these opportunities just thrown at them and they get inundated. It's kind of like when you take your girl to a restaurant, let's say the Cheesecake Factory, where the fucking menu is an entire book of options, right? They can't make up their mind. Like, what do you want to eat, honey? Right? Like women can't make a fucking decision. And so if you give them all these options, they're like, and their brains melt down, right? So that's why you got to be her best option and make the decision for her. You see what I'm saying here? But you can't ask her out. Like you've got to be such a good option that when she's out there weighing her other options, because they are, right? We call it spinning plates. Women just call it dating. When they're out there weighing their other options, they realize all these other guys are simps and they have no fucking game. They're going to realize you are the best option. And that's how that works. Okay. On a Friday night in Croatia, I took a beautiful girl out for drinks. I weaseled her back to my place and we had sex. After she left, I fantasized about having sex with her again. I was excited that I could take a break and focus on her instead of having to chase new girls. On Saturday night, by accident, I met another girl in the club. We talked and kissed for hours. Her body was slightly better than the first girl, but she was otherwise similar. When I woke up on Sunday and lay in bed, the girl in my mind was the one I met on Saturday night, not the one I had sex with. The girl from Friday almost felt like a distant memory, as if she got bumped out of view by the newer girl, though my penis was inside her less than 48 hours before. For women who have smartphones, you're the one getting bumped. You get bumped down the list as more cock offerings come into view, and the memory of having a conversation or date with you travel further away in her mind. The smartphone alone changes her behavior. It changes the way she dates and how she selects men for sex. This is why I disagree with this a little bit. Okay, let's give some women credit. A lot of guys, they if they just had a date with a chick, or they set up a date with a chick, they think they've got to constantly text her and constantly keep her engaged before the date or until the next date, because they think that she's going to forget about them. Right? And that actually works against you. That makes you look needy as hell. It's unattractive behavior, right? And women aren't as stupid as you think they are, and they actually have fairly good memories, especially if you make a really good impression on her. So if you make a good impression and your game's tight, she's not going to forget you in 3 days, right? So if you wait 3 days to text her and then you reach out to see what she's doing and set up the next definite date, she's going to actually like you better, because she's going to be like, where have you been? Like, I've been thinking about you. All these other guys are texting me, but you haven't. You've been a mystery, right? You're actually acting different than the other simps out there. So you're not getting bumped if you don't text her. Okay. But what I will say is, so in Corey Wayne's book, he talks about waiting a week before reaching out after a date. You don't want to wait more than 3 days, because there is a loss of momentum. She won't forget you, but there will be a loss of momentum, right? And you sort of want that momentum carrying through. So you don't want to wait more than like 3 days after a good date to set the next definite date. All right. So Roosh says, I've been to many countries, and it's no surprise that foreign women with smartphones are much more similar to their American counterparts than the ones without. Her attention becomes more fragmented, her attitude increases, and she's less willing to put work into the interaction. Symptoms that come from receiving an overload of male attention via a tool that seems to be perfectly designed for it. If a girl has a smartphone in hand, she is simply less able to commit to a man. She will experience constant malaise because of all the hot action she'd hate to miss. When she's ready to cheat, and she will have at least 5 guys who would jump at the prospect without her having to do much more than send a "how are you" text message. This is one of those reasons why if you go out on a date and the chick is just buried in her smartphone, you should just pay for the drinks and get the fuck out of there, right? Because a chick that's addicted to her phone is a problematic chick. But you guys got to understand, right? And I hate to say this, I hate to say the no walt right now, but not all women are addicted to their phones like this, right? Nurse chick, she's never on her phone. When we first got together, I didn't even have to ask her. She got rid of all social media. She made everything private. She got rid of her pictures out there. She stopped posting things. You know, she might occasionally, she has a personal Facebook account, and she changed her name on Facebook to be a pseudonym. And so she barely posts on there. And when she does, it's just like, family pick stuff, family activity stuff. It's not like attention seeking stuff. It's not thirst trap shit, right? So there are chicks out there that in America, guys, that aren't addicted to their phones and aren't addicted to social media, but you will have to sift through a lot of chicks who are to find those chicks. Okay. So it does become a numbers game. Ooh, Chuck the Painter with 10 euros. He says, I've come to realize getting not just women, but people to engage with you than ghosting the field will surely get everyone pissed, but they'll climb all over you when you get back to them. Yeah. Oh, so you're talking about like, waiting a couple of days to get back to people, right? Yeah, I agree with that. You did not send a $20 super chat, so you're not getting the titties, but you will get this one.
Talking about whores, people. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. We're talking about attention whores today, though. All right. Thanks for that. I appreciate that, brother. Okay. If the changes brought by the internet weren't disruptive enough, men now have to compete with smartphone devices that simultaneously force them to compete with other men who in the past wouldn't even fall under their girls' radar. We're arriving at the point where women don't need to lift a finger to get with men because so many desperate, supplicative men inflate her ego, worsen her attitude, and make her lazy when it comes to any relationship. Why should she put in work when she doesn't have to? Why should she commit when she's so obviously desired? Did you not notice that the last self-shot photo she uploaded on Facebook got 40 likes? She doesn't care if you get annoyed when she flakes. She doesn't care if you don't like her flip-flops. This is why you can't hold women accountable, because you are infinitely replaceable, right? So that's why these guys are like, I'm holding women accountable. I got to check a bitch. It's like, you're never going to change her behavior because she's like, whatever, bro. I've got 50 other dicks in my inbox, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I'll tell you what, this stuff's not going away. This stuff's not going away. The internet's not going away. Cell phones are not going away. Dating apps are not going away, right? We're not going to go back to even the 1990s when we had, or late 1990s when we had like Nokia cell phones and shit. We're not going back to that. So what are you going to do going forward, brother? What are you going to do going forward? You going to give up, or are you going to figure out a strategy that works going forward? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to be a passport pro. You don't think they have smartphones in other countries? This guy was writing about this shit when he was in Croatia and shit like that. They have smartphones in other countries. They have dating apps in other countries, bro. Okay. Well, not in the Philippines. All right. Soon, every woman in the world will have a smartphone. And the idea of commitment and love will be a throwback, something that belongs in old movies. Until then, when I'm talking to a girl and she pulls out some piece of shit old Nokia phone, I can't help but get a little excited. Have you even seen those? I haven't even seen those in years, man. I haven't even seen those. Everyone's got a smartphone now. But this was written back in 2012. So people still had that kind of shit back then. He goes, I know she'll be warmer. I know she won't flake. I know that I'm about to have an experience with a woman that will give me an honest shot. But if she pulls out a smartphone, I know that she'll be adding me to her collection of penises. She's the celebrity, and I'm nothing more than a fan. Well, if you treat her like a celebrity, she will treat you like a fan. Right? Man have given up already. Marriage is already at all-time low. Birth rate the same. Yeah, a lot of men have. But nobody likes a quitter. Nobody likes a quitter. I'm not advocating for marriage at all, but because that's just a bad idea. That's with the laws the way they are. Getting married is just a bad idea. Okay, so let's go to the next article. But before we do that, guys, let me give a shout out to the beer club. Beer.comeonmanpod.com. We are having an impromptu meetup tomorrow night. So if you guys have been thinking about joining, you want to see what it's like, okay, join now. You can join with a free trial. Get in the Telegram community. The Telegram community is one of my beer club brothers. We have an upcoming episode that we pre-recorded. Beer club brother David says, he's like, you're not selling the Telegram community enough. He goes, because that's really where the value is. But guys are in there 24/7, swapping notes, talk about what they're doing. They're leveling up. They're going to the gym. They're posting their workouts. They're posting their date updates. They're talking about problems in their relationship, and guys are in there telling them like different ways they can handle different situations. It's just a very active community. And then once or twice a month, we get together on a video call and just talk about guy shit, right? It doesn't even have to be heavy. It's just, we talk about what's going on. And so it's a good place to socialize. It's also a good place if you are not very good at banter, if you're not very good at handling shit tests, you're not very good at teasing people and busting on people, it's a good place to learn how to do that in a safe environment, right? Where you're not going to be judged for how shitty you are at busting on people, because they're going to bust on you. They're going to bust on you for your ability to bust on them, and then they're going to point out why you're not good at busting, right? Like, anyway, it's good. It's just a good community of guys. You can join with a free trial. Show up for the call tomorrow night. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then if you like it, stay in the group. If you don't, well, cancel before you get charged. No harm, no foul. Okay. And then if you guys want to work with me at all, coaching is available. I do have a couple of seats left. If you go to coaching.comeonmanpod.com. All right, let's get to this last article here, and hopefully we can knock it out quickly in the last 15 minutes. So the next article he wrote 6 years later. Okay, so 6 years later in 2018, this one is on the use of social networking. So he goes, women use social networking to feel loved. Okay, so the first one was about the invention of the smartphone. The next one is social networking. Okay, so he says, when the iPhone started gaining popularity, I wrote about how it makes women less capable of love. We just went through that. It puts them on such a thrilling roller coaster ride of attention and fleeting validation that the love of one man becomes just too boring. And now women are attempting to get that love back on social networking through the very means that caused them to lose their ability to love in the first place, right? So the love of one man is just boring, which we're learning in the Book of Puck, which the Book of Puck series will continue next week. You can be anything to a woman, but you can't be boring, right? So if you are a boring guy, what the fuck do you expect her to do? What do you expect, right? AJ says, join Beer Club. Treesair says, the boobs, have it where you get the email confirmation with the boobs. Yeah, that's a good selling pitch. You guys get the boobs with a $20 super chat, and that's it. Okay. John with a $2 super chat, safe space. Ugh. John, you know, we're in the trust tree. Okay. I'm going to give you this one.
Damn, that's a cold ass honky.
John is a cold ass honky. He's always busting people's balls in the beer club. Okay. Because he doesn't want to make it a safe space. Okay. A girl who shares a photo on Instagram, a status update on Facebook, or a tweet about her day is simply trying to receive love from people on the internet. There is no reason to share a photo with strangers unless in that moment you are feeling a lack of love, which is why it's most commonly done when a woman is alone. When she's experiencing a momentary feeling of emptiness or lack of attention, she shares a selfie and then relaxes from the soothing effects of dopamine as the likes of comments come in, all without having to understand or cater to the needs of others. That's why Mish, right? Chad of Arabia on Twitter, who's back on Twitter, by the way. He's under like a not Mish, not Chad of Arabia account or something like that. But he has a meme that talks about women who are getting dick down properly aren't on Twitter arguing with men. If she's getting dick down properly, she doesn't need to be on the internet getting attention, right? Unfortunately for the girl, this will not work in finding real love. She already damaged her love mechanism by swallowing whole all the depression-causing feedback loops that autistic Silicon Valley technologists threw at her. And now she's trying to get it back through piecemeal bites from people she ultimately doesn't care about. It's the same as crushing your leg with a sledgehammer and then using the same sledgehammer to bang it back into place. To save your life, a doctor will end up having to amputate the leg. Yeah, it's like it's impacting their dopamine receptors, right? And that's what all this stuff is. That's why a lot of you guys can't stop texting chicks. It's the same reason. You're validation seeking. You're seeking that dopamine hit of getting that response from her. You guys need to break that fucking habit. You know how you break that habit? When you go to send a text message, okay, you wait for her to reply back. And then you play mirror game. Okay. Now people are like, I don't want to play games. Trust me on this. Okay. It's not about, it's playing games at first, but really what it's doing is it's breaking your addiction to texting. Okay. She sends you a response back. You take how long it took her to respond back. Instead of getting mad at her for taking 4 hours to reply back, just set your timer for 4 hours and 23 minutes and then go find something to do. Okay. And then when your timer goes off, reply back to her. Okay. Eventually, what you'll find is that you'll just start replying back to her when you can, and you'll be a busy person working on your fucking purpose, which is a better idea anyway, right? You become more of an attractive guy when you're working on your purpose than you do spending all day texting chicks, okay? Being a needy little bitch. All right. The only possible treatment for a woman is to completely withdraw participation from social networking. She must never share anything personal online. She must only follow other people without commenting. She must never anticipate or hope for a potential response that could spike her dopamine. Combined with a healthy search for a male partner, god damn these guys, she may be able to love again. But we all know that this asks too much of the modern female. Your average woman will not be able to quit all of her social networking accounts and observe so many other women getting 1 million likes from strangers while she receives none. But unless she does this, the odds of her being content with the love from one man are zero. She will become a love amputee. Yeah, like I said, like Nurse Chick's not like this. She doesn't need all this validation online and stuff like that. So there are healthy women out there that aren't like this, but yeah, a lot of people, not just women, a lot of people are addicted to social media. They're addicted to texting. They're addicted to that fake internet points. They're addicted to those dopamine hits, right? Turns out that many men use social network to feel love as well. If the intent of what you're sharing is to receive attention, compliments, and validation, you're starved of real life love. When the only response to what you're sharing is discussion about you, the internet has become your lover. This is one of the reasons I've been so incompetent with managing my Instagram account. Sharing a photo of myself where the only response can be likes on my image or comments about me is love thirst behavior. But I'm still a human being and sometimes experience moments where I feel a lack of love. I'm still capable of love in real life, but I know that using the internet to receive it will just damage that ability. It turns out that sleeping with so many sluts did less harm to me than I had the habit of uploading a selfie every day. Oh, it turns out that sleeping with so many sluts did less harm to me than if I had the habit of uploading a selfie every day. You know what? This is one of the reasons why I cringe now. I cringe now at guys I see online that are constantly posting selfies. They're constantly like, I see guys on TikTok that I know aren't content creators, right? Because there's a difference. Like I'm out there, I'm posting stuff like this online because it's marketing, right? I'm marketing a podcast. I'm trying to get you guys to come in and watch a fucking podcast. Okay. That's different. That's internet marketing, right? And a lot of these chicks, they found so much validation in this stuff that they started doing OnlyFans. So now they're internet marketing too, right? But I see a lot of guys that are on like, especially the guys who their only account is they are lip syncing songs on TikTok. Have you guys seen that? Like men who just sit there and lip sync songs all day and their whole account is just them lip syncing songs. They're attention seeking. They're validation seeking. I have a friend who he's always posting selfies. He's always posting himself doing like different stuff where it's just like, it's a lot of it's just selfies. Right. And it's just like, wow, this guy is completely just out there validation seeking. He's just out there looking for those fake internet likes and stuff like that. It's a dopamine addiction is really what it is. Right. And if you are a guy and you're doing that, you're acting like a woman. I'll say that right now. Okay. If you guys have on your personal Facebook accounts, or your personal Instagram accounts, and you're posting shit just to get likes and comments and stuff, you're acting like the chicks that post a picture online when they're not feeling pretty. And then all the other chicks come in and go, oh, you look so beautiful. Oh, you're so gorgeous. Right. You're just looking for validation seeking. And the other women know exactly what these other women are doing. That's why they do that. Right? That's why, like, when an ugly chick posts a picture online, all of her friends come in and go, "You look so beautiful. Oh, hugs. I miss you." Yeah. It's validation seeking behavior. Knock that shit off. It's unattractive. Okay. It's unattractive. Now, if you do cool shit, right? If you're doing cool shit, like you're out four-wheeling or something like that, you jump off a fucking awesome jump and someone snaps a picture of that shit and it looks badass, post that shit online, okay? Because that makes you look like you live an interesting life. And if you're using social media to meet women, like I talk about in my course, that kind of stuff helps you. It makes you look like a guy who lives an exciting life. But if all you do is post selfies in your house, you look like you live a boring fucking life. It's not helping you at all. It's validation seeking behavior. You're acting like a woman. Okay. I hope AI clips that. All right. If you want to predict whether a woman you meet in the future will be satisfied by your love, ask yourself what trends you see with smartphone usage. Are women becoming more dependent on it or less? You already know the answer. Women have showed absolutely no indication that they want to lessen their social networking usage. And if anything, they are doubling down to such an extent that they may even prefer it to normal friendships. An entire generation of men have to suffer worsening relationships with women because a few hundred technologists wanted to create a utopia. Instead, they created a hell where the only time you'll be able to feel a little bit human is while staring at a tiny computer in your hand. All right. That was written by Roosh, one of the original 3 R's of the manosphere. All of his shit's disappearing, so we got to keep this out there. But that was written in 2018, right? Have things gotten better since then? Yeah. That's different from MOA. Most post every day, at least 10 times a day, more stories the better. Are you in MOA on online money? Are you in Men of Action with I think Rolo's a part of it. It's Mike Sartain's thing though. But one of my problems with Men of Action, right, of them posting Instagram stories and stuff like that, is what they're trying to do is they're trying to artificially inflate a guy's status look online, right? They'll say, hey, come to these events, pose with these women, pose in front of these Lamborghinis and shit like that. You don't think that the women you meet are going to figure out that you don't have fucking Lamborghinis and that you really don't go to these events? I think it's artificial and bullshit, honestly. And I hate to shit on that because I like Rolo, right? But honestly, that's Mike Sartain's bag anyway. And Mike Sartain and I don't have a business relationship, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. And it's my podcast. I don't give a fuck. Someone's going to clip this and send that to them, and they're going to fucking banish me into the whatever. But Rolo's books are good. Let me just say that Rolo's books are really good. Can't complain about that. Oh shit! We've got a $20 super chat. Mike says, for women, it's social media. For men, it's usually video games. Men get off World of Warcraft and reprogram your dopamine receptors to respond to lifting and getting paid. Video games are men's biggest hurdle today. Mike sent a $20 super chat, so you guys know what you get for a $20 super chat, don't you?
Thank you for the super chats. We'll be bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west, you are the best. Keep those chats coming in, let's do it all again.
Woo! My man Mike, hell yeah. So guys, if you want to see them titties, send the $20 super chats. Mike's absolutely right. With video games, it's fine. Like, all this stuff is fine, in moderation, right? Drinking's fine in moderation. If you guys like to smoke the ganja, I've never been a fan of that, but if you're into that, it's fine in moderation, right? It's when it becomes a problem, becomes a daily habit that you need to take a step back from that shit, right? All right, guys. That's all I got for this episode. Tune in Friday I plan on talking about the term, she's not yours, it's just your turn. A lot of blue-pilled men hear that and they get upset. A lot of women hear that and they get upset. A lot of the MGTOW guys hear that and they think they should just give up on women altogether, right? But if you break it down, it's not an upsetting statement at all. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about Friday. What's your take on virtual reality where it becomes more real? I mean, I think it's all that stuff is escapism. Online money, it's all escapism. It's not real, right? It feels more real. Man, I was at RP Thor's house a couple weekends ago, visiting Thor, and he has this really cool like virtual reality thing. I think Sony makes it maybe, and he puts it on my face, right? And I go into this full immersion thing that he's got, and all of a sudden Alicia Keys is right fucking here. I'm like, holy shit, Alicia Keys is right in front of my fucking face. It felt real. And you look around like this and you're in a room and she's playing in a band in a room and you're like, what the fuck? Then all of a sudden you're standing on a cliff and you're like, what the, like you're on a cliff. It's crazy. And then all of a sudden some bitches is tightrope walking right in front of you over a canyon. You look down and you just see like thousands of feet below her. And you're like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? But it's not real. And the problem is that your mind doesn't know the difference. Your mind doesn't know the difference. And it'll fuck you up, man. It'll fuck you up. So in moderation, I would say do that kind of shit in moderation, right? All right. Yeah, so that's it. Tune into the podcast Friday, guys. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. Remember, there's a direct correlation between likes on these videos and the amount of views I get. And so remember, likes are free, okay? You don't have to send $20 super chats. Just at least give me a like, okay? Thanks for everyone that sounded off in the comment section. That helps these go by much smoother. Thank you for everyone for the super chats. I really do appreciate it. That helps support the show. Guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list. I'll send you a bunch of free stuff, including stickers. But if you don't want stickers, just put don't want stickers in the address field, and I won't waste a stamp on you. But you get 20 dating app openers, and you get a free chapter of my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. If you guys are having problems with dating and relationships, those are the best chapters in this book, okay? But everything leading up to the dating and relationship stuff is about building a great life for yourself so that you're more of an attractive person that can actually invite a woman to join you into your life. Okay. And you gotta build up the kind of life that women want to join. All right. That's what I'm all about. Right. I'm about, building yourself up and making a great life for yourself that women want to join naturally, as opposed to standing in front of pictures of Ferraris and shit. Okay. So guys, get the book. And then guys, join the beer club. We are having a meetup tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Join with a free trial. Join us for the call tomorrow night. See if you like it or not. And then if you do, stay in the club. If not, no harm, no foul. Other than that, we'll go ahead and wrap up here, guys. And we will see you guys on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.